Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Well, I thought we would start a fun little project. I have another little mini journal here that has been sitting on my desk for probably 2.5 years now, and I have done absolutely nothing with it. I do have a video. It's one of my first videos as to how I made this, so I will put that link in the description. This is made from a little tiny cereal box that, you know, when you were a kid, or you buy them for your children to go on vacation, or you stop at like a Fairfield Inn or Holiday Inn Express, and they have the little boxes of cornflakes or whatever, Rice Krispies. This is what this little journal is here. And these are so much fun to make. So I thought I would start, like I said, a new project, and we would decorate the pages inside here. And you'll see that a lot of them I have used scrapbooking paper. So there are already decorative pages in here, but we're just going to add to it. So I would love to have you stick around. I'm not quite sure what direction I'm going to go. I kind of have a feeling you're going to see this gal here, and I will explain my thought process. You're going to see some other items here that I got in a grabby box years ago that have been sitting around here. And these are all little tiny pieces, and I really don't use them. I don't know what to do with them, but I thought we could incorporate them. Here's some other little shiny fun pieces. Thought we could incorporate them. This is going to be kind of like a little hodgepodge of goodies and pieces that I like, but I would never put on a scrapbooking page or in a journal. And that's where I think these little mini journals come in really handy, because when you get these little pieces of paper and ephemera, what do you do with them? I don't know. I mean, you say, "Oh, isn't this pretty? Oh, I like this. I like that. Oh, I'm so happy I got this in my monthly kit." And I guess that's why I stopped getting the monthly kits, because a lot of this stuff is pretty and it is cute, but it's just not, it doesn't move me. And I thought it would be kind of fun to start filling up a journal or journals with pieces such as this. I loved working on my black and white mini journal. This is going to be something a little different, but kind of the same thing. So welcome. I'd love to have you stick around and watch this project come, should I say, to fruition, come alive. And we're just going to have a good play. And if you're new to my channel, this is how I roll. It's nothing formal. It's very informal. Sometimes I get chatty. Sometimes I'm quiet. But I try to give good tips and tricks and things to make your paper crafting life a little bit easier. I can do that a little bit better on my surreal collage art. And if you haven't seen any of my surreal collage art, I have a whole playlist. That is a lot of fun. You can go and take a look at that. And for all of my regular subscribers, thank you. Okay, so like I said, I'll put the link to this in the description as to how to make it. So you can see that I did start 2 pages. And this was before I started collaging, and I was just fooling around. This is a Tim Holtz saying here, "Be in love with your life." And I did these first 2 pages. This is a little tag, and I made this little pocket here. But that's not how I want to finish this journal out. I kind of want it to be a little bit maybe more mixed media. Not good with mixed media, but I figured this will be a good playing ground for it. I've got some pockets in here with little tiny tags. Doesn't mean they're going to stay in there. So this is my thought. I already showed you the little pieces that I want to incorporate. Then I love women's faces. I just, you'll notice even in my surreal collage art, I do a lot with women. I just think women are a wonderful subject to work with in art. And these were taken from a sketchbook. Now, this is the same woman. This is the final painting of her, and this is the beginning. But yet, they're totally different. All right. I have this gal here. I'm going to set her aside. I have this woman who is very, when my dad saw a very distinguished woman, he'd always say, she's very, what did he say? She's very handsome. She's a very handsome woman. And he always meant she was very distinguished. And you could just tell, you know, she was like the matriarch of the family, and she didn't pull any punches. And, you know, what she said went. And that's how I view her. I have this gal here, this lady, another, and I think this is the same woman in a different format. So I'm going to be using the same images, some of them more than once, because to me they're, even though they're the same, they are different. I have this one, and then I have a small one, and I have a large one of this gal here. And then I have her with her blue eyeshadow. This is a lovely gal. She looks like she belongs on the cover of Breck. Remember Breck hair shampoo? She looks like a Breck girl. We have this gal here. No, we don't want him. I have a whole collection of men too. And then we have this woman here. So I want to try to incorporate all of these women in this little fun journal here. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do it, but I thought we would start with her. I'm going to set these other gals aside. And I thought we would just kind of go through and we would add some, we would do some collaging with this material here. And I think I'm just going to glue it down. I could get my Mod Podge out, but I think I'm just going to go through here and maybe rip and tear, enhance some of the pages here. This book here is a flower guide that came, and these are all, I can get it here. These are all different flowers that I can cut. These are stickers I can cut out and use as backdrops. And again, I don't use this book a lot. There's some stamps back here. And I thought it would just be fun to use these in with the collage art. So we can get started and we can have a little chat. It feels like it has been forever. I just put a really nice video up over on my Patreon. I'm still working on my spring journal. So I did a lovely video on that yesterday. I did a 2-page spread and did some tags and pockets, and that's coming along really, really pretty. And I thought I would get over here to spend some time with all of you. I'm still working. Nothing has changed there, although I think my schedule is going to get a little bit lighter with spring and summer coming, and the quarries are really rocking and rolling now. And I can go out in the morning with the boys, get everything done, and be home by noon. Be home by high noon before that fire whistle goes off. And then I have time to play in the yard, and I have time to play in the craft room. So that's a good thing. So the other thing that I did in here, these are all scraps. And these, believe it or not, are from one of my collages that I recently did, my surreal collage art. This was a flower that I had cut out. So I kept these pieces, and I'm going to actually put them here in the book as well. Let's see. I also want to do some stamping, but I think before I stamp, I'm going to get some other papers down. Now I know I kind of want to leave her, and I want to put a nice saying over here. So I'd like to add a little bit more over here. And I do realize some of this is going to be covered up, especially when I put a, you know, if I put her on the paper or whatever. But I just want to add some more interest. So I could put something like that. Even though she's here, it still kind of frames her in. And I am just going to kind of look and see what might be best. And I might want to add a little bit more color here. I like that green. That would add some color. But again, that's going to cover that. Depends on how low I want to put her. And this is where you just want to play and have some fun. Like I could cut that off up there. And that might be kind of fun. I think I'll do that. So I hope you all are doing well. It is Easter weekend coming up. Let me move these. That's probably right in your eye, isn't it? Easter weekend is coming up, Easter Sunday, and I do hope everybody has a wonderful Easter and that you can get together with family, have a nice dinner, spend some time together, and get outside. Our weather has not been the greatest. We're still getting very cold days, and that's no fun. That is no fun. No fun at all. We had snow flurries one day, and that was just crazy. I'm wondering if I could get a little bit of a butterfly behind there. I think that might be okay. I might put that down there like that. I'm going to put that down there like that. So I'm sure there's some of you, obviously down south and from Maryland on down, you are probably enjoying warm weather, soaking up the sun. You're probably out on your back porches or your front porches. We are just still very cold. And I think what I'm going to do, I also brought my washi tape up. I think I might put a nice little piece of washi tape here. So if we have, I just want to kind of get a color. That's more of a pink. Let's see here. I'm not really trying to match it exactly, but I think maybe I'll use this because this has the green in it. And I just think maybe a nice butterfly right around here would be just lovely. But I'm very anxious to get out on my screened-in back porch. That's the one thing that I really look forward to in the summer months. Because it's just, you sit and listen to the birds sing. Okay, so we'll put that there. All right, and then I'm going to want to cut her shoulder off right about here because we are going to have to cut her down. Right here. Okay. I'm going to move her down a little bit. And then I will cut her down right about there. All right. And I'm going to just below her right here. I don't want to take away anything on her neckline there. So I'm going to put her on like that, and I think she will be just lovely. Trying to think what else I can share with you. Went to my eye doctor the other day, and I have to get back to a retinus. I had to go to my glaucoma doctor, and I had to go. Now I have to go to a retina specialist because I have a cyst on my retina. Of course, I have it on the I have it on the eye where I have my glaucoma, so it's my left eye, and I knew something was really funky with my left eye. And yeah, sure enough, I've got a cyst right on my retina. So I have to now go in May to see a retina specialist. Isn't that fun? All right, so we have her on here. And then I'm not going to do anything. I have my Stabila. I will outline her a little bit. I'm not going to do that. I think I'll do fine tuning and all the fine touches afterwards. But I just want to get a few pages done here. So this is kind of like the direction that I am going in. And I think these women are going to add a really nice element in this journal. So I also have, I don't want to forget about these. Not going to do anything there yet. This one I would like to do a little bit more color. I picked these because I love polka dots. Everybody knows that. But I don't know if I want it across from the black here. But that might be kind of fun. And let's see here. And some of the, obviously, as you can see, some of these pages are going to be kind of muted in this book. That one's a little short. This one I would need a little bit wider. Maybe something like this. And again, this book is just to have a nice play. In here. I want something a little bit taller though. So let's see, I've got a taller, maybe I can just put something on that side. And not every page is going to house a face. Kind of like that there. Kind of like that. So we're just going to fold this over, cut that there. Okay. I'll put that there. And cut that there. And then whatever you have that you've cut off on the sides, don't throw that paper away because it can be used. Now that's interesting because it did not, when I cut it, it wasn't straight. I'm still reading the book that my daughter-in-law gave me at Christmas. It's a trilogy, but I'm still reading that and enjoying it. It's a fantasy series. I've never read a fantasy series before, and I am enjoying that. I don't have much time to read, but usually on the weekends I can get a few chapters read at a time, and then if I'm not too tired at night, I'll read a couple chapters. All right, now I have these here. I could actually put that over here like that. And it doesn't matter to me in this book if things are upside down or sideways or backwards. It's just all about texture and color. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this down. And I will add this. I'm going to add that to the side right there like that. Okay. And with this journal again, I'm going to try not to think too much about, oh, does this go here? Does that go there? I'm just going to build and collage on top of each other and see where it gets me and see what I can do without doing a lot, if that makes sense. If that makes sense to you. I cut that down a little bit. And again, these, there they go. Again, these little books like this are just nice to put some of your favorite things in. And then you can go back and take a look at them and say, oh, isn't that pretty? Or, you know, just I think you can have each page tell a story without putting a lot on it and getting super, you know, like, oh, this page has to be more creative than the other page. And it's just a nice playtime. So see, I like that. I think that's really pretty. And then I'm going to get out my little giraffe here and have him hold that down, because I appear to be struggling, don't I? And then I think maybe, I love the cotton. I love the big piece, the long pieces of cotton in here, but this is pretty too. I love these. I really do like these. Maybe I can find something that I can put. Let me try this one here. Cut this out. I'm anxious to get outside and start doing a little bit of mowing again too, and cleaning up the yard. I do have my work cut out for me this year. I'm not hiring Chet to come and do a spring cleanup. It's just, our yard is too big and the price is just too much. So I'm going to grab Lou and I'm going to work with him and get it done. That's why I wish it would warm up a little bit more. But I don't know about where you live, but we have, during the winter months, I like that there. And then I could put a little saying over here. During the winter months, we have a lot of voles. We don't have moles, we have voles. And they can make a mess of your lawn. A really big mess. There. Oh, I like that. And then I could put a saying right over here. And I think what I'm going to do, I like to put a little something here. So I have to go out and take care of those, the voles, and they burrow under the ground, and all of the soil pops up on top of the lawn. So that means I have to go out and rake all these mounds of dirt down. And that isn't always fun. That takes a little bit of elbow grease. Now you can see I'm going through a lot of these are quite muted, but I'd like to bring a little bit of color over in here. I have this little bit of a rose here, but again, I could put a saying up there, which I may do. That might work better. Okay. All right, so let's go on to the next page. We've got, isn't she just wonderful? All right, over here. Again, I have this here with the polka dot. I may just trim this off here. Just that little loop-de-loop. I want that to get in the way. And I think that would work quite nicely there, like that. Because I think these two go well together. These I'm going to move down because I'm kind of looking in the background and I'm seeing this stuff, and there we go. Okay. Okay, so we have that. And I don't want to use a face just yet. Oh, my stomach. Can you hear? If you can hear my stomach, I apologize. It is grumbling. Why, I don't know. Now, I could use a piece of washi tape on the bottom here, which might be kind of fun. Oh, there's two there. There's two there. Bear with me. Let me see something. What do we have in here? What do we have in here? See, a lot of these are, and I think the reason why I don't pull a lot of these to work on them, they're kind of dark. I'm not real crazy about the colors. So I think that's a stumbling block for me. Especially this time of year. But like I said, this is going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, we're going to put that there. This I am going to put here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on the top. And I guess I'm not going to, hold on, bear with me here. I don't need glue. On this one section, because this is a little file folder thing. And it looks like I'm going to be trimming that afterwards. Come on. I guess I'm going to put some, I'm going to bring this right down. Otherwise, it's not going to stay. And again, with a project like this, I think you just have to dive right in and start playing. Okay. And then I do want to put this here, but I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to cut it right where that 2 is. We're going to put that right there like that. Okay. See, that's coming out nice. And then the bottom part, I'm going to put that right down there like that. So we will get this glued down. So see, you can use these little pieces that you may say, oh, well, I cut that off. I don't need that, or I don't have a place for it. Well, you just take that and you bring that right down here like that. Whoops. And then that just finishes off that bottom right there. See that? I like that page. So see how you can collage with your scraps that you hadn't planned on collaging with? Then if you want to add a little bit of color, that's when you can come over here. And I'm only going to try to use these items here again because these are the pieces that I don't see, I don't use. And I think you can make a lovely collage with, I call this type of ephemera misfits, because I just don't think, for me personally, I have a hard time, like I said, using them in a journal or even my scrapbook pages. Okay. And I think after this page here, we'll call it a day. And then I will just continue to make some fun videos of this book. And then that will give you time to get a little book that you might have. And you don't have to necessarily make a book. I'm going to show you a couple little books that would be wonderful for you to collage in. And you could, if you have a Hallmark store around you or near you, or even maybe a Dollar Tree, let's see where we might want to put this. I think I'm going to put it up here, and then I'm going to trim the corners off. I have a couple books here that I think would be lovely to work in. And like I said, you could get them at your local, I don't think like a, oh my goodness, I was going to say a 5 and dime. That tells you my age, right? Go to your 5 and dime and grab one. My goodness gracious. Now I think they're Dollar Trees and Family Dollars, and then everything is much more than $1, believe me. Okay, here we go. So there we just added a little tiny bit of color here. I really like that. I think that's a fun little collage page. And then we'll put some sayings. So that's where I'm going to stop today. So we did this page here, and we will add some sayings. I'm going to find some sayings. We'll add to them. We added this gal, and I'm going to use my Stabila on her. And that, but I'm undecided yet because I don't want the black to come over on this page here. I may just grab a black marker and maybe do a little outline of her. We can do that now. I have this little black marker, and let's just outline her a little bit. Let's just go on this side here. And then when I'm done with this, I will show you the books I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to put this around her. One thing, that my other book, as tiny as it was, I think it was easier to work in than this one. I don't know why I'm having trouble holding on to this book because it's bigger than my other one. So I'm not quite sure of that. And I'll just bring her down a little bit. Now this is washi here, so that's a little bit different, but that does outline her a little bit more, a little bit better. So we have her, and then we have this page here. So that's where I'm going to stop today. And let me show you, like I said, if you have a Hallmark store, these books would be really nice to do some collaging art in. They're small. They're like 4 by 6. The pages are wonderful. This is just all white one. And I did get these at my Hallmark shop. And I think there was a package of 3 or 6. These are the ones with the dotted lines, if you like to work with the dots. And I think I will end up down the road working in these. And then this one here just has the lines. This one I use for notes and such. But a book similar to this would be lovely to collage in. The other one, this is called a field book. This is Elon Publishing, and I use these. I have a ton of these. This is another book that you could very easily collage in. It's a nice little size. Elon published, and I think you can get packs of these for like on Amazon. I'm not sure where I got them, but you can get a lot of packs of those in one grouping. So if you don't have a book like this or a handmade book, you can use a book similar to that. So like I said, this is where I'm going to stop today. And I want to thank everyone for joining me. This is going to be a fun little project to collage and use all these little pieces of paper that normally I don't use. I don't know what to do with. But as you can see, they work wonderful in a collage format. So I want everyone to have a blessed week. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. And I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.